Dua Lipa.
I say love me, hold me, love me, hold me. 'Cause I'm free to do what I want any old time.
Free talk, baby.
But all of our listeners know what this song means.
I said I'm free to do what I want.
And if you don't know what this song means, you better know. You better find out.
Love me, hold me, love me, hold me, 'cause I'm free.
What is going on, everyone? We can keep that going all day. You want to know why, Danny? Because we're free to do whatever
We're
we
free.
want any old time, Danny K. Anytime. We're free.
Whatever.
Free is in our budget, Danny K. What's going on, everybody?
Everybody.
That's Dua Lipa. I never even seen what she looks like. She's probably a cutie. Is she hot, Danny? You ever seen her before?
Cutie. I mean, I like her voice better than I like what she looks. But I mean, she's cutie. I mean,
All right, no
you know,
problem. You wouldn't
cutie.
throw her.
Not my like visual style, but
you wouldn't throw her a 10 spot down at Mill Creek down there? What's going on? Anyway, what's going
Creek?
on?
Mill Creek?
Mill Creek?
Mill Creek?
Mill Creek. It's a creek. Listen.
Mill Pond.
Welcome everyone to the broad. People are jumping on like crazy. Good job, everyone. Welcome to the broadcast. This is Jon Koga up here, and we got Danny K down there, my partner in crime down there in Westminster, Maryland. Welcome to the KFit Talk podcast, broadcast, live stream, whatever you want to call it, across all platforms. We're at season 12, episode 13. This is always a crowd favorite. It gets the most views, the most subscriptions, and we absolutely love doing this topic today called Free Talk. That's Dua Lipa, as we had mentioned. All right. Free Talk is we're going to just sit back and kick it. Like the boys up in Attica say, we're going to kick the Willy Bobo with you guys right now. All right. Dan, you don't know. That's let me not tell you how I know about kicking the Willy Bobo. Some people
what is a Willy Bobo?
I can't get into it. I got to kill you. Listen, so Chet, I definitely don't want to do that. So check it out. Season 12, episode 3, KFit Talk podcast with Danny and John. And Danny, you know what? I noticed my hair's getting a little wavy, right? Getting a little wavy? Yeah, it's waving me. It's waving me goodbye. But that's okay, Danny. Anyway, Danny didn't even get. Did you not get that, Danny? I said it's getting a little wavy.
I did.
It's waving me goodbye, Danny.
It's waving you goodbye. Yeah, I got it. I got it.
I'm getting ready for that comb over next year for 10 years when I hit 50. All right, listen. All bullshit aside, Free Talk, we love it. You guys love it. We love bringing it to you guys because we just sit back, we kick whatever we want to discuss, topics, fitness, food, life, and fun. And we hope you guys have a lot of laughs with us. We really do want you guys, when we want to put a smile on your face. We also want to bring some knowledge into your brain. And we also want to bring some comfy, cozy warmness to your hearts. All right. So if you're going through some troubled times right now, sit back with us for the next hour and have some fun, laugh, put your comments down, post your comments. If you have any questions, throw them at us. Also, if you have any topics you want us to throw at you guys, you want to hear about, just reach out to us so we can do our homework and we can make sure we give you guys some really amazing topics as we've done for 12 seasons prior to this. Free Talk is a crowd favorite, Danny. What's going on down there at Danny K Gym and Wellness? Talk to the peeps.
I mean, it's cold.
I know.
42 degrees. It's windy. The sun is out, but so let's focus on the sun being out. I love that.
Sun's out. Danny guns are out, baby. Danny's guns
are out. Guns out.
Nope, go ahead.
Anyway, whatever. Guns are always out, whether the sun's out or
Always.
Whatever.
Yeah. So what's going on?
It's not an arrogant thing. I just don't like sleeves. I just and I don't fit into a lot of normal clothes. Like I just don't. Anyway, but yeah. So
going good.
Is there a way to turn your home into a homeless shelter?
Ooh. Interesting. Is there a way? Let's think about that. Is there a way to turn your home into a home, as in for like nonprofit 501c3, or actually making money from the government?
As in making some government cheese, because the people, I'm not getting any other kind of money, so it must be a homeless goddamn shelter. is what it
Guys,
must be.
all of our loyal listeners know what Danny's talking about. For those of you joining us from all over the world, because that's where this thing is being broadcasted from all over the world, 20 something countries. Danny's going through some shit right now, but she's going to end up on top where she's trying to evict some dirtbags from her house, one of her homes that she owns down there in Maryland. And unfortunately for her, they're like I said, they're just dirtbags. I don't like to call people names, but they're literally dirtbags, and they're trying to beat the system, and it can only get them so far. So Danny's just through that homeless, because basically she got these people living in her house rent free, trying to make all sorts of claims and accusations without getting into it. It's a bunch of bullshit. So shame on you if you're doing that to somebody that put a roof over your fucking head. I said it, and God forgive me for saying it, but you know what? You get a job. Go pay your bills, and don't take advantage of good people in freaking
Right,
life.
right.
Thank you. Go ahead, Danny. Proceed.
I mean, it's just insane. They bought themselves like 2 more weeks, so but failure to pay rent is failure to pay rent. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
so, but I mean, this too shall pass. And I do feel bad. You know what I mean? Like, but
Oh, yeah.
and
That
I
tells you what kind
pray
of
for
person
them.
Danny is.
I pray for them every single day. Like, I really do. Like, it's not fun. Like, I know what it's like to be in a situation where I'm trying to figure out, like, because in the past, like, I've had to try and figure out, do I put gas in my car or food on my table? You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, and that sucks to be in that situation. But to the same point, if I don't make the money to pay for my mortgage, then I am out. No one's paying my mortgage. So, but when you're renting from someone, let's just say it that way. When you're renting from someone, and I get the struggle. Like, I mean, a lot of people, no matter how much money they have now, a lot of people know what it's like to not have money, and to be in that situation. And but so if you're renting from someone and you're not paying the rent, that person has to pay the mortgage regardless,
Yeah.
right? And like, for me, like, if I don't have money coming in to pay my mortgage, the bank takes my house,
Right.
right? So I mean, and I don't get to buy time or anything like that, or you know what I mean? Like, but if you're renting from someone and you can't afford to pay your rent, I feel for you, and I'm so sorry, and I feel bad. But at the end of the day, that person that you're renting from has to pay that mortgage.
Yeah,
So
Danny.
your rent, and in most cases, your rent relies on that mortgage being paid. So if you're not paying your rent and that mortgage, somehow I got to come up with that mortgage.
Of
And
course you do.
so, sometimes I have it and sometimes I might not have it, right? Depending on, like a cycle of a month, or whatever, however things go. But you're assuming that you're just going to have that roof over your head and there's no going to be no consequences.
Yeah.
And you're assuming that because someone owns a couple of businesses, that they have a shit ton of money that they can pay for your family. I work my ass off, but I don't work my ass off to pay for your family. I
Right.
don't do that.
Right. Well,
At the
Danny.
end of the day, no one's busting their ass to pay for my bills.
Yeah. I hear you.
So how is that fair, right? So, like, previous, couple of renters before, like last renters, she was great, but then the renters before that, they decided what they said, they paid their electric bill before they paid me. And I said, what part of, if you don't have a roof over your head, that you don't need electric, that you don't understand? Okay, you got to pay the roof. You want my family to be in the dark? You want your family to be homeless? Like, I mean, there's priorities. Just like, John, with you and
Yeah.
me, when we own businesses, right? We have to. I don't have employees per se, but when you
You
have
got bills.
employees,
You got bills.
yeah, but when you have employees, like a business that has employees, right? That money that comes in pays the employees first, then it pays the bills, then it pays you. Period.
I
End of
hear you.
discussion, right?
Yep.
A guy I used to work for at Powerhouse gym. No, I mean, nothing putting down Powerhouse, like, it
Yeah.
just, I'm
Yeah.
saying that's
Whatever.
what he owned.
Yeah.
he was running into some financial problems. And what he did was he paid himself first.
Oof. Oof.
And then he didn't have, I mean, and he got a salary. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, I got a family. Well, so does everybody else that you employ have a family. You know, and just because we might be females and like some of the females have husbands, but that don't make a hill of beans because
Right.
they're in there working. They're either training or teaching their classes or whatever daycare, whatever you've hired them for. They still deserve that paycheck because they still
Sure.
have things to pay for, right? So he made sure he got paid. And then, so what I did was I said, okay, so when the people pay for personal training, like I get a percentage, right? And he's like, yeah. I was like, how about if they pay me and I give you the percentage? He's like, no, that's not going to work. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
there you go.
well, guess what, motherfucker? Because I ain't working for free.
Yep.
And I know at least my salary might not be covered because he might not have the money. But I know when I bring in 10 clients, at whatever a pop, this is how like that money brought in by me. So I
Right.
should be getting that paid, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but that's the whole misconception. Like people just like they're and you should be worried about yourself, but at the same point, there's priorities. Like especially like when you rent, the priority first is pay the rent because you need a roof over your head. You can light candles. You can whatever you need to do to save money on your electric bill or to save what money on your water bill or whatever it might be, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you don't have a roof over your head, you don't need water and you don't need electric.
Yeah, but
Period.
Dan, you know what? Danny K, Jon Koga, and guess what other word starts with K, Danny? It's on your arm. I believe it's on your arm somewhere.
Karma.
That's right. End of story. Mic drop. Listen, shame on you. Listen, people fall in hard times. You have compassion. I have compassion for them. But man, don't take somebody's kindness for weakness. All right. Let's shift it around a little bit. So, let's I gotta make a shout out to my beautiful daughter Francesca. I know you're over there with Vicky watching the podcast. I forced her to try to see what her father does for a living. She really doesn't care. But anyway, who her pops is. I love you, baby. You're gonna be all right. Don't you worry.
He really doesn't work at all.
He doesn't work. Tell it,
Doesn't
Dan.
work.
Oh, I love that kid, man. Anyway, so listen, Danny, we are coming into some summer months, right? Trying to get out of that winter cabin fever. We always say for those of you guys that live in the warmer tropics climate and all that good stuff. I told you, I always say I'm a little jelly belly. I do like the 4 seasons, although I do feel like sometimes I only have 2 seasons, and it's like so everybody's rushing and scurrying when the first day you get that sunny day out and you're like, oh my God, you look down and you got the Dunlop's disease when the belly Dunlops over the belt. It's a little tough to comprehend and say, well, how did this happen? It does happen, guys.
Or the Dicky Doo. Or the Dicky Doo.
What's the Dicky Doo?
The Dicky Doo Award.
What's that?
Your belly sticks out further than your Dicky Doo.
Oh, thank God I don't have that problem. Anyway,
neither do I.
So yeah,
on either end.
Oh man, Daddy, I lost my train of thought. So it's never too late, guys, to get yourself started. All right. If you really, especially last week, we talked about mental health in fitness, and guys, I'm going to tell you right now. This is the best drug, the best medication you can offer yourself. It really is. Working out and fitness and making the mind and muscle connection. I know it sounds cliche and I know it sounds like a bunch of bullshit. And yes, you got to put in the work. You got to do the effing work. You tracker. You bought yourself a Fitbit. You bought yourself an iWatch. You still got to do the work. All right. So, but if you're going to do it, make sure you're having fun with doing it. Find something with the outdoors now and the warmer weather coming on us up here in the Northeastern United States. Look forward to getting outside, start with a little walk, a little vigorous walk around your block. If you've been sedentary and your doctor said your LDLs are up, your HDLs are up, your blood pressure's up, you got pre-diabetic because of your sugar levels are up. We're going to combat that. And I know that many of you guys can relate to this shit. You really can. We can combat that and it costs nothing, Danny, nothing to combat everything I just said. It's about making the right choices. And there's a lot of people in this world that make wrong judgment and wrong choices. We're all guilty of it. We've had that emotional knee-jerk reaction to things, relationships, parenting, poor decisions, poor judgment, that comes back to bite you in the ass. But when it comes to your health, and like Danny said, you focus on you and focus on yourself, and not, don't try to change the world because you can't. All right, be compassionate, be kind, be loving. But after it's all said and done, when your head hits that pillow at the end of the night, if you're not happy with the way you look, feel, or being, you can make a change. And this podcast is designed to teach you guys how to make that. And if you want to take it to the next level, we can do that too. But Danny, like, so right now, somebody's sedentary, they're laying in bed, they're in freaking Boise, Idaho, and they're watching us, and we love Boise, and they're just like, I don't know how to get started. I can't just go join a gym right now. Danny, tips. What can we do to get them motivated other than the obvious? If it's your health and you're waiting and a doctor told you have X, Y, and Z to take care of, or you're done, you got one foot in the grave and one on the banana peel, and now you have a family and you have friends and loved ones, and it's like, if that's not enough for you, and it shouldn't be that, it should be because you want to help yourself,
Right.
Danny, it's in this, and the psychology, and the when the depression sets in and the addiction sets in because of the depression, it's a fucking ugly, vicious cycle. But talk to the peeps about how Danny K used fitness to get herself out of her addictions, and also, what do you tell your clients and your members or new people that walk in that think it's got to happen overnight? What's the process, and what's the voice and the tip of advice that you give people that think they want to have it now? Start like now, right, Danny? What do you got for us going into the summer?
Well, for the people that want it now, like, you didn't want it now 6 months ago. You didn't want it now 3
Good
years ago.
point. Good point. Good
So,
point.
you know what I mean? Like, so what's the rush? And, the weight didn't come on, or the health issues didn't come on, all of a sudden. They've been there. So, what I almost tend to not really have. I'm a very compassionate person, but I really don't have a compassion for, like, get off your ass. Like,
Yeah, you don't feel bad. Yeah,
what is the problem? I don't understand. We do this all the time. We take care of our cars, our snow blowers, our tractors,
yeah,
our
yeah, boats.
driveways, our
Yeah,
windows, our
yeah,
sidings, whatever, right? But when it comes to our body, like, we don't take care of it. And then, like you said, like, not just for your family, but that, if that's not a why, if you're not a why and your family's not a why, then shame on you. And maybe you don't deserve your family. You know what I mean? Like, and
right.
so I just had that kind of discussion today with one of my client members this morning. She's working out, her son's working out, her husband, like, he's, putting on the weight, and he's got, certain things that are coming up. And she was like, all right, fine. If you have a heart attack, I was like, well, if he has a heart attack, make sure that he's got his life insurance policy all up to
Right.
date and everything. You know what I mean? Like, and not being cold, but that's basically what you're telling me.
Reality. That's the
If I
reality.
love you and I'm working out, like, you know what I mean? Like, and he's like, oh, well, you just want somebody that's, like real fit. And she's like, no, I just want somebody that's still here. You know what I mean? Like, we can work out together. You can work out with your son. You can be,
Yeah.
so, father son bonding thing. You can do it 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day. You don't have to, but put some time and effort into you. Because if you want people to put time and effort into you, you got to put time and effort into you. If you don't feel you're worth putting time and effort into, then why do you think other people should put time and effort into you?
Very true.
You know what I mean? Like, there's so many things. And as far as, like, motivation, it's like, there should, it doesn't even come down to motivation, because I have no motivation to work out. I hate
Huh.
working out. I literally do not like working out. But I'm with my OCD, with my, well, I guess I should say, with, like, my addictions, I'm addicted to doing all the right things. Like, like, in the past, I did some wrong things or whatever, and my addictions were, heading me slide negatively. But now I'm, like, so on that addict side that it's all for good. You know what I mean? Like, and I've
Right.
got to do those things. I got to work out even if I don't want to. And there's days every single day, like yesterday when I had the court. It was 8:45 that I had to be there, and they didn't start for, like, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And every time they called my name up to the thing, they weren't ready. And it was like, nope. It's like, so it was like 3 or 4 times that they called me up to the stand, to the,
Bench.
whatever.
The bench.
to the bench, and you had to be, denied. So I'm like, Jesus, you know what I mean? Like, so I didn't get back to the gym till 11. And I had a client at 1, and I actually had to skip a client in early in the morning, so I had to cancel. And she even said, she was like, Danny, in 4 years you've never canceled. She's like, you've never canceled me. I'm like, I train you when I'm sick. I train you like I'm
Yeah.
feeling it, but I just physically couldn't be there. But and and so, I lost my train of thought.
Well, yeah, we were talking about motivation, and you were talking about
Oh,
getting.
yeah, so when I get back to the gym,
Yeah.
I'm, irritated. I hadn't didn't lose, but they just bought more time, and you know what I mean? Like, and I'm just like, so I was just like, look, okay, time. I got to get my workout. I got to pound it out. I didn't want to, like, you know what I mean? Like, I could have thought of 50,000 different reasons as to why I shouldn't, and I'm not going to get a really good workout in because I got to, my clients coming in, and I got to do blah blah blah, blah, right?
Yeah.
But I did it, right? I did it. Why? Because I'm disciplined, right?
Power off.
Power off. We go to work. How many people want to go to work? You know what I mean? Like, why? Well, because why do you go to work? Well, you're disciplined to go to work. You like your paycheck, but when it comes down to it, when you work out and you see those results, whether it's lowering your blood pressure, lowering your blood pressure medicine,
Right.
lowering your cholesterol medicine, feeling better, getting more energy, feeling, getting stronger, having, better breathing or whatever it might be, like that that should be why you keep going with it, you know what I mean? Like, and I always say discipline begins where motivation ends. And you don't have to be motivated to do it, you just got to be disciplined in doing it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, period, end of discussion, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's
So guys, even like when you're getting started, like and then I'll get into people that want like a little bit more of a metabolic maybe or boost or rate change for those that have been going steady and kind of hit some stuff, some plateaus and whatnot. So like I said, the best thing to do is just to make the decision, get up and just do it. And do it can you have to define what does do it mean? Does do it mean just okay, it's raining out, man. There's the excuse. I can't go walk around the block. Well, if you have a flight of stairs, I always say be careful with
yep,
stairs. Make sure somebody's home. But
yeah,
you can walk up and down the stairs 2 or 3 times. Like
or
just
just walk around your house. I used
walk
to do
around.
that.
Yeah,
Just
walk
walk
around your
my,
house.
my bedroom, the hallway, living room, dining
You
room,
know,
kitchen, hallway.
get yeah. Just get started. Just get started. Your body will thank you, and you will feel better if you break a little bit of a sweat. You're gonna feel better about it. You will. And now or with the nice weather, I know this whole pickleball craze took on like a life
Yeah,
of its own, which I'm for it. I'm not a pickleball player. I'm too young to play right now, but it's like I shout out to our pickleballers. Yeah, you're moving, you're winning, so it's like just take on something, and honestly, it does help. Like Danny says, she hates it. I don't think we joke around. She hates it. She
no,
hates it. But
I
yeah,
really don't like working.
yeah, she
I
doesn't like working.
really
I
don't
believe her. I
like it.
believe her. So, but the old saying is find something that you love to do and, never work a day in your life and you'll never work out a day in your life. If you really find something that you love to do, whether it's pickleball, whether it's, whatever,
Yeah,
going outside, riding a bike, mountain biking, maybe joining a volleyball league in the summertime
yeah,
at the pool, whatever. Just find something that you enjoy that you are going to pencil in every week, however many times a week you're going to do it. Commit to it. Don't quit to it.
yeah,
Commit to it, and just tell yourself and put a time frame. So I'm going to try this for 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Find what works for you.
yeah,
You're going to find something that works for you. And if you're feeling like you have restricted mobility and stuff like that, you have to adjust accordingly. We can't tell you guys, what to do as far as any restrictions, but make your modifications in anything you want to do. But you
yeah,
have to get out there and you do it. Listen, if you're juggling bananas or I'm taking a vigorous walk around my block and my heart rate is 125 beats per minute, chances are now when you're holding weights, it's a different story because you're putting strain on other parts of your body. But as far as the cardiovascularly speaking, your heart rate's up. All right. It's in the
yeah,
zone that it needs to be at. And you have to do that, not for 3 minutes, 4 minutes. You got to try to work up for 20 minutes for those of you guys doing it for the first time. You really do. All right. And then add that minute on every
yeah.
every other workout. Right, Danny? I mean,
Well,
what do you think?
and then the other thing is too, like you said, if it's raining outside or if you don't have a gym, like, I mean, YouTube is free. I mean,
Yeah,
you can
great
get all
point.
kinds of workouts, 5-minute workouts, 5-minute stretches,
Great point.
15-minute wall Pilates, like that'll kick your butt, like,
Yep.
and it's free, right?
Yeah.
Real quick, Debbie, one of my clients, she said, I always say, why is it so hard to do something, working out, that
Right.
makes you feel so good? Why is it so hard to do something that makes you feel
Debbie,
so good?
that's a great point. That's a
Yeah,
great freaking point. I love that. And that really needs to be hammered home, because the
yeah,
feeling that you do get, I tell everybody after my Koga class, my goal is to make you guys feel better when you leave this room as opposed to when you walked in. And
yeah,
99.9% of the time we do it. But that's a really good point. Like, you'll go out and you'll do all sorts of stuff that makes you feel good, and you continue. And now that some of that might be, once again, addictions. You might like to drink. It makes me feel. We're not talking about that shit. We're talking about like stuff that makes you, activities and stuff that are going to better your health, that makes you feel good. But
yeah,
why do people stray away from it? I don't know. Is it listen, not every workout is a strenuous, sore, debilitating workout for you. It can be a fun, upbeat, energetic
yeah,
workout, depending how you're defining workout. And I think that's a really, really, I like that. It's a really
yeah,
good point. But yet we'll do stuff that we don't love to do on a regular basis.
right,
If some
yeah,
people enjoy smoking cigarettes and some people do, it's a fucking disgusting habit as far as I'm concerned. Um, and I don't care what excuse you use, I was in the army, I was a veteran. That's all. I get it. We love you, vets. I get it. But smoking a cigarette is it's
yeah,
disgusting.
yeah,
And I'm not going to condone smoking cigarettes. Find other things to de-stress. Put a stress ball in your hand. Put a mop in your hand. Stop mopping up the kitchen. Anyway, getting back to liking and loving what you do. Danny, it makes this fitness and health and wellness journey so much and easier and so much more fun, and
yeah,
educate yourself. Danny said you got videos. You also have a whole plethora. I love that word, plethora of information out there on everything from A to Z. If you want to learn about metabolic heart, you want to learn about oxygen, you want to learn about body fat, caloric expenditures, calories it's at our fingertips.
yeah,
It's the laziness that bites us in
yeah,
the ass, that
yeah,
holds us back from all these exciting things in life and results in life. It's the
yeah,
procrastination that holds most of us back. It's the not me, it can't happen. I'm in my, people saying I'm in their 50s, 60s, 70s. Come take one of my classes and look at 80-year-old, shout out to 80-year-old Pete, 80-something-year-old Pete, and Danny, you have them in your gym as well that are walking in every day. The
yep,
guy had the hip replacements, he fell down in a step class last week. He bounced back. He's back. This guy is there, and his beautiful wife, Pat. They're there every freaking week and taking 4 and 5 classes. Then I look after my class. Now they're in the gym doing a circuit.
yeah,
I mean, come on. This is phenomenal.
yeah.
Don't say you
Well,
can't.
and the other thing is too, like it's kind of like negative to positive, right? So
Yeah.
we find it so much easier to do all the negative things, right? We find it so much easier to call people names and do this and be negative and be down and be sad and depressed and blah blah blah. I mean, not easier like on our but like we'll stay in that, right? But it's like, oh, it's so hard to like look at life being nice or good, or it's so hard to be positive. Why is it hard to be positive? It's hard in your mind and your heart to be negative. It's hard in your
Yeah.
mind and your heart to be down and depressed all the time, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So it's like, well, but this is wrong and this is wrong and this is wrong. I'm like, okay, but this is right and this is right and this is right. So don't look at the things that are wrong, look at the things that are good. And and then you're putting all of that again, it's that affirmation, it's attraction, it's a law of attraction. You are what you are what you think and speak about. You know what I mean? Like whatever you
Yeah.
think about, you bring about. Whatever you speak about, you bring about.
Yeah.
And so whatever, oh, workout is so hard, exercise is so hard, eating right is so hard. Yeah, guess what? It is because you're saying it is. But if you
Right.
actually just took a little bit, did a little bit of step, don't worry about, the four things. Worry about just one thing. Worry about just moving, right? And then as you're moving, you feel better. Then implement more water. As you're moving and drinking more water, you're feeling better. Then you're going to say, you know what? I really want to get more protein in. And blah blah blah. Like little steps by, little step by step.
Yeah, and guys,
Baby steps.
also what's gonna, and I always harp back on this because I'm a big music fan. Put together a great playlist for yourself. All right,
Yeah,
put yourself a playlist. Nobody's home. Put the music on and just dance and jump around your ass off. Okay,
right.
Just do it. No, they don't say in dance like nobody's watching. There's some, and Danny's a former, dancer, professional, like legit, straight up, earned her keep dancer from back in the day. Now she's at Mill Creek doing her stuff, but it's okay. But put on a good playlist,
I
guys.
don't dance at Mill Creek,
let
guys.
let the music move you. It's so important, and I don't think there's a person in that's listening to this podcast right now why that music doesn't move you in a certain way. It's and it might spark an emotion that causes maybe a thought of maybe a bad relationship, and that's okay. It's okay. Do you realize, like, when we stress out and we cause ourselves to tighten up and be stressful and gripping that steering wheel at the red light, and you catch yourself, wow, why am I going to grip this steering wheel? Why drop my shoulders, take a deep breath? All of that stuff, when you compound that on top of itself over days, over weeks, over months, over years of being stressed out, guys, that's going to cause more oxidative stress and more plaque buildup in your systems than eating, like I say, Burger King every day, McDonald's every
Yep.
day for the next. It's proven. It's proven. You have to learn to let it go and de-stress. We're at the time right now for reconciliation. I'm going to get off religious on you right now, because I had to take the guys, the little ones, though, they're doing their confirmations and stuff, and I had to take them to church, and it actually felt good being in church the other day, learning about just what I'm saying, and the priest was talking about reconciliation, and he brought up, of all things, he brings up Jelly Roll, and he
Okay.
talked about, and the priest, and whatever denomination your beliefs are, it's meaningless to me. It just, whatever your walk is, great, but he said, he made a comparison, an analogy, like the front windshield of our vehicles is a lot bigger than the back windshields. And he
Yep.
made a really good, it really hit home, and it resonated, saying that your whole life is ahead of you. There's an open road for you to pick and choose as to what you want to do and how successful you want to be, how what you want your legacy to be, how healthy you want to be. He said, and then, and the rearview mirror, the rearview window is a lot smaller. It's
Yeah.
it's put it behind you. It's the past. And he had made a comment, which I haven't gone back and watched. And Jelly Roll, he said Jelly Roll the singer, and then he also said something funny, which was good. He's really good with the kids. And he said, if you want to get a lot of chicks, he says, in life, I'm like, where's he going with this? He's like, become a singer. You learn to sing in a band. And he goes, the chicks are gonna love you guys. But the point that I'm trying to make is that he was saying that that it's important to put that stuff behind you every day. You got that clean windshield wiper. Start your day off saying,
Yep.
I'm gonna hit the ground, not running, but just nice leisurely walking pace.
Ooh.
And he said Jelly Roll, when Jelly Roll won his acceptance speech in at the Country Music Awards, I believe it was, he had said just that, like, here you are, this big fat addict that was in prison, and here he is a year later. How much can change in your lives by becoming positive and by
Yeah.
doing good for yourself, and I actually happen to like Jelly Roll, and you know what?
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't tell me that this guy hasn't been through it, and he's the first one to tell you, don't feel bad for me. Don't have a pity party for me. I got everything that I did and that put that man in prison. He said I wasn't the innocent guy in prison. I was the guilty guy in prison. He goes, but when I finally sat back and said, I have family, I have friends. I think he had a daughter that actually helped change his life around. It's never too late, guys. The windshield is bigger than that rearview mirror. Don't look back. Learn from it. But let's get you guys on track to especially around this time right now, reconciliation in the Christian and Catholic faith. I know we had Ramadan in a couple of last month, but if you use your faith to guide you guys through, and use the music and use your friends and use the trainers like Danny and myself, there's no effing excuse for you not to feel better day by day, Danny. There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Well, and you want to speak on that, on the religious part. Like gluttony is a sin. So you know what I mean. Like, so your
Yes.
body is a temple, and God
And he
gave you
said
that
that.
body.
Oh, he said that. Yes.
So it's like your body is a temple. So take care of it. If God felt like in such a way to give you the body that you have, why are you trying to destroy it? You know what I mean? Like, and
Yes.
he was, oh, well, I'm not trying to destroy it. Well, you're not trying to make it better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so any little thing makes it better. That one more step, that one more protein gram, that one more ounce of water, that one more rep, that one more,
Yes.
walk on the treadmill, like whatever, just that one more. Um, and
Danny,
nobody, you can't be forced to do anything. Like,
true.
it's like people are like, oh, well, if I had the motivation you did, again, it's not motivation.
Right.
Motivation, discipline begins where motivation ends, and whatever you want is what you're going to get. You know what I mean? What was it? Henry Ford that said, I think it was Ford. It was some president. I can't remember. Um, but if you want something bad enough, you'll find a way. If not, you'll find an excuse.
Oh,
Period.
yeah, that's a
You,
great
you
saying.
know what
So
I mean? Like,
yeah,
I
for
mean, and
sure.
whatever it is, whether it's if you want to feel better, you will find a way to get it. And if you're not making those steps, then you don't want it bad enough. So stop talking about it. Don't sit there and say, "Oh, well, I wish I could, or I want to," no, you don't, or you would do it. You
Yeah,
know
for
what I
sure.
mean? Like,
So let's grab the ears now of you guys that are been in the fitness industry. You're busting your ass off, to create another day, add another day onto your life. And from my mouth to God's ears, that's what it's doing for each and every one of us. So you come across a time where we've discussed plateaus, we've the topic a million times many ways, not just in one way. So right now you're telling yourself, man, I hit the wall. I just I'm trying. I'm scratching and clawing for what's next. Should I try intermittent fasting? Should I try keto? Should I do this? I do that. But yet you still haven't changed your workouts up. Some of you guys, many
right,
of us are creatures of habits, and many of us, which is not a bad thing to be organized and structured, but there comes a time to step out of your comfort zone and mix it up a little bit. So what I've been doing now with my clients, Judy and Jeannie, and Pat and all my clients, is I do something. I think I do it once every 4 or 5 weeks. I do a metabolic reboot to try to
okay,
sharpen. Now, listen, one workout's not gonna. It's in conjunction with everything, Danny, with eating but like let's get you away from just doing your basic compound movements or just simple movements that not simple. They could be strenuous, but like if you have never functional trained, if you've never did a ball slam, if you've never did a wall ball, if you never did battle ropes, if you never drove a sled because you think pushing the weighted sleds are just for CrossFitters, it's time for you guys to tell yourself, you know what? I've been looking at that piece of equipment in the gym. I've been training with a trainer, and it's the same cookie cutter, back and buys, chest and tries, and you hit a sticking point or a plateau. Guys, try a nice metabolic reboot or restart when it comes to your workouts. Okay, so throw in some functional. What is functional training? Movements that we use that are applicable into our everyday life. Like we say, reaching for shoveling, reaching for a bag, carrying bags into the house, whatever the case, where you're not holding actual weights per se. Okay, so we have a bunch of amazing pieces of equipment in the industry, whether it's a Bosu ball, that half clamshell ball that you stand on for your balance and stability, whether it's these Medi balls, which I absolutely love. There's a million, whether it's kettlebells. Now done correctly, you can do a really good workout with
yeah,
kettlebells, whether it's battle ropes, Danny. So I suggest throwing in, let's say you're doing chest and tries today. I would suggest this after my first chest exercise, whether it's 4 or 5, 6, however many sets of bench press, I'm jumping right on something functional. I'm going to go on 3 sets of Medi ball slams. All right, I'm going to go back to my net. I'm going to do flies. I'm going to go back to, and I know you're going to be burnt. You're not going to be doing as much as you normally do. I'd go
right,
back to a wall ball toss. All right, I would go back to Bosu. So go, and it doesn't have to be after every set. It could be after every body part. It could be after every 2 sets per body part. But mix it up and let's try to shock your body and your brain into not knowing because you do have muscle memory. Your brain knows, okay, from this machine, I'm going to that machine, and from
yeah.
that machine, I got to go to that machine. Danny, do you ever incorporate function like any kind of metabolic reboot, or do you just kind of
Yeah.
mix up their weight training? What do
Sometimes,
you do?
sometimes I'm like a basic weight train, just because I feel like again, it's like my OCD. Like, oh my god, if we don't do this, like it's the
Yeah,
muscles gonna lack. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
so but so I wish that I could do a lot of that. So like Brittany and Holly, a couple of my trainers, they train that way, and
Oh,
and
cool,
and I love that. You know what I mean?
cool.
Like, But for me, I'm just like, oh
Hit
God,
the
like
weight.
it's
Yeah.
buys and tries. I gotta be buys and tries. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
every now and then, like instead of getting them on the arc trainer, I might get them to do the battle ropes or now I was training Amy. Shout out to Amy. She does and I just said Holly's name and she just appeared on the freaking she just started
Nice.
watching.
Good
Hey
job,
Holly.
Holly.
But I was training Amy for softball, and now she's in her softball season, so she took a break from
Nice.
training. But when she gets done, that she's going to come back. But so I mean, I had her like on the I was doing like I guess sports specific, functional, whatever
Yep.
for softball for
Yeah.
hitting and throwing and stuff. So like I had her on the cable, and like we were
Yep.
like
Power
twisting,
twist.
and
Yep.
she was
Yep. Yep.
doing
Yep.
that
Power
weight and
twist.
stuff.
Yep.
Um,
Nice.
I had her, standing in like a split squat kind of thing and slamming the medicine ball down,
Yep.
down to the side. I had
Yep.
her doing like wall slam ball, you know what
Nice.
I mean? Like so
Nice.
yeah, so I incorporate it when definitely I incorporate it when it's like sports specific, when we need to, train that way. She wanted to get better at swinging, better at throwing, she's a pitcher, so she had her things going like that. So I had to, so I incorporated
Yeah.
some
Yeah. Yeah.
things
Yeah.
like that.
The body mechanics that coincide with the
Yeah,
movement.
yeah,
And also, Danny, and I'm going to tell you guys this. I mean this. If you guys have never touched a Medi ball, a kettlebell, a wall ball, a battle rope, a sled, it's very empowering. A TRX, okay, I forgot TRX. It's very
yeah. I used that a
empowering.
long time.
Because when you look and see other people thinking, you always think about that elite, for the most part, fit athlete, elite guy that I can't touch that. But guess what? Try it, but confide and consult in somebody like that knows what they're doing. A Holly, a Danny, Danny. Who's your other trainer?
Brittany and Anna.
Brittany and Anna. Well, Anna, I know. Shout out to
Yeah,
Anna. So reach out to a trainer or go on YouTube and watch it. Don't perform it. Watch it. It's an empowering thing for a beginner to grab those things, incorporate that into your workout, and it becomes it is fun in a way because you're challenging yourself
yeah,
and your body is going to respond accordingly if it's done safely and correctly, which we always emphasize. So when I do these workouts, these metabolic reboot workouts, my clients are shot. Now I usually end every one of my, for the most 90% of my clients, at the end of their workouts, they get 1 5-minute round of kickboxing with me, and and they love it. And it's once again, they're learning self-defense, they're doing one-on-one kickboxing, and it's empowering. And then when we do that CrossFit that functional training, cross style training, where I call it 3x3 rounds, where I told you I do a body part, I go to some functional training, I go back to the body part, and I have like about 8 or 9 stations set up independently of each other, and then in between each set I throw in that functional, and it's like 9 different
okay,
exercises, and we do three rounds times 3. It's and by the end they're all gassed, they're all laid out, and we don't even kickbox that day, and they actually hate it, but they look forward to it. I just actually added, which they all love. It was in my garage. I have a aqua bag barrel,
I saw that. I saw you
Yeah,
doing that with
yeah.
one of the
Yeah,
girls. Yeah,
and I'm telling Danny, you can get one for $30. Add that to your gym, Danny, and it's like the floodgates open up with functional stability training, and you can see how they hate it, but they love it. All right. So
yeah,
guys, mix up
yeah,
your workouts and don't be afraid to ask or research it first. And if you see the piece of equipment in your gym, learn about it. And now you don't have to do 10 different but it's actually fun. Once again, it's empowering. You're going to feel a sense of accomplishment when you get it, and you're going to get the result from it. But keep it
yeah,
safe. All right. So
yeah,
make sure you mix it up a little bit. All right.
yeah,
Especially if you're one of those people that just go do cardio. I'm a
yeah,
cardio queen. I got to do the treadmill. From the treadmill, I go to the stair climber. From the stair
yeah,
climber, I go to the elliptical. Guys, mix it up. I'm
yeah,
telling you, your body's going to thank you for
yeah.
it. All right.
I'm like so structured, right? And
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah, you
I
are. Yep.
I I I definitely like and some of my clients really like that. So if I try and change it up, they're like, "Oh, I don't like doing this," blah blah blah. But but some of them want that, like, can we do the battle rope this time? Like
Yeah.
yeah, but I get so like in my like
Yeah. In your
structured
structure.
way,
I know.
and
Yeah.
then
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and then I feel like, oh my God, if I veer from that, oh my God, like you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
but and that's what I love. Like, Aaron used to train that way too, but Holly trains that way. Like, just definitely doing some different
It's great.
things, and you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, so if anybody locally wants that kind of training or wants to step out of the box or whatever, like drop a comment or like I said,
Yeah,
Holly just
come
said
down, check it out.
hi.
Yep.
So like click on her name and inbox her, set up a consultation or whatever, and she'll get you in your functional training.
Yeah, it's you know what, and you said structure, Danny. It kind of is in our structure because I make sure I do that every fourth or fifth week, like that. I
Yeah.
look forward to it, and that's usually the following week or two. I'll check their body fat, so I really try to monitor, and I also want to make it if it has to be therapeutic for somebody that came in that has some kind of ailments that need to be treated as far as their balance or their stabilizer,
Yeah.
their core.
Yeah.
It's actually it is proven to be beneficial more on the physical therapy side because I've been doing a lot of if you guys have bandings elastic bandings that we have in gyms, there's a million different things you
Yeah.
guys can do with those as well if you incorporate those just in between your sets. Like I've been doing I strapped an elastic band, a band. It's the longer bands, not the small ones that go on your ankles and your knees, but the longer elastic bands. I wrapped it around a pole, I put a knot in it, and now I'm actually having them do like mule kickbacks with it. So they hold on to the pole, they strap it to the bottom of their foot, and they're doing kickbacks for their glutes. And it's like
Yeah.
you tie that into squats and you do that in between sets. There's a whole world that can open up. The ratio of you doing the same workout twice is like the odds and the ratio
Yeah.
that you have is, once again, there's nothing wrong with being structured and monitor your organization and your structure and monitor your results accordingly. But don't be afraid to throw it in there to see if you can kind of maybe shock them. You might feel sore in another part of your body that you've
Yeah.
never felt sore in, So don't be afraid to step out of the comfort zone. Don't be afraid to ask your trainer if you can try it. And also don't be afraid to fail at it because,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, failure they say is failure gives you the option to succeed or some shit, whatever it says. Like failure is the failure gives us.
I think you're making shit up.
No, I probably am, but no, failure is the something to succeed. Somebody answer the
Oh
finish.
yeah, I think I know what you're talking about, but I don't know. Holly, if you're
Yeah,
still around, like, what the hell is that? You good
failure
with that?
gives you the opportunity to
To
succeed
succeed?
anyway. And what's
Because you
not,
definitely need failure to succeed.
you
Like
have to,
if
you
yeah,
have to, you
you're
have to.
not succeeding if you haven't failed.
And if you haven't tried, let's discuss right now PBs or personal best or PRs. Let's discuss the importance of those, Danny. Okay, because I know Danny, you're big on that stuff, right? So,
I'm
guys,
not.
no, for you, I thought you were for yourself.
Every now and then I'll be like, oh, can I do that? Like, let me see.
All right. So
Yeah,
maybe you're not big on it, but you do when you do get a personal best. It's
yeah,
rewarding. It's
yeah,
it is. Like,
absolutely,
oh shit, I did
absolutely. Yeah,
what?
yeah,
So
absolutely.
for those of you that are listening and you're working out and you've been putting the same amount of weight on the squat rack, the same amount of weight on the
Yeah,
bench press, bump it up 5-10% or whatever it is. You're gonna, and first of all, your body should respond real well to it. All
right.
right.
Yeah, and see what you can
I don't
do.
mean
Yeah,
I don't mean overload the crap out of it, but go for a personal best on a deadlift. Go for a personal best on a pull
yeah,
down.
yeah,
Go for a personal best on a tricep extension. Bump it up, and I'm telling you, your body will respond when it's
yeah.
safe. I'm telling you, you'll be
Yeah.
happy you did it. Okay.
I was like,
And
yeah, yesterday I trained Joanne and Jeff, and it was funny because Jeff bumped something up, and I was like, "Up, Jeff bumped it up. You're gonna bump it up too."
there
And
you
she was
go.
like, "Thanks, Jeff."
There you
Their
go.
husband and wife. But then so we tried like the leg extension. We did a personal best, like there I bumped it up to like 60 now, and like he was doing it and she was struggling with it, and she had just got done saying like women are stronger with their legs or whatever and everything, and so like he's doing it, and I was like, no pressure, but he's doing it, and she's like, great, you know what I mean, like,
Yeah, I hear
so
you.
but they like little friendly husband wife competition or whatever,
Yes,
but
yeah,
so
right.
it's
You
like,
have to
okay,
show
look what
progress.
we did. We increased the weight on this, we increased the weight on that. We did this different exercise, and so like, so there was like some different things that they, could walk out feeling really good that, and they're sore today from doing the extra weights, right? But not like debilitating sore. So yeah, so
Right.
just step it up. If you're always doing that one plate, you're always setting it into that one plate, set it down to the next plate and do what you can do. So like when I try and like, like, hey, you know what, we've been doing, let's just say 50 pounds or whatever, like for whatever exercise it is on a plate. we've been doing this for a while. Like, let's just bump it up. We'll bump it up one plate and get as many reps out as you can. So if we're doing 10 reps, you get as many reps out as you can, keeping good form.
Yep.
And if you start faltering your form at like, 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever,
Yep.
then, stop. We'll put it at the lower weight, the one plate lower, and finish that set out. The second set, we'll put it back up to that heavier weight, get as many as you can out until your form starts faltering, and lower it down. And that way you're, you're getting your body used to that heavier weight. So the next time that we revisit that exercise with that new weight, you'll get more reps out
Yeah,
and
for
possibly
sure.
more complete sets.
And you know what? Like we love free talk, guys. I'll tell you why. For just this, we're just kind of just kicking it like by the seat of our pants, and we're things that pop into stuff that we know that we go through on a daily basis as fitness professionals, and that you guys might be thinking and afraid to ask. But make sure you drop some questions, comments, and concerns that we want to answer for you, and make sure you guys subscribe. Also, as the seasons are changing for those of you guys in this season, we're going to start eating. I feel it's a lot easier to eat healthier than when you're sitting with cabin fever, when you're enjoying the heavy Alfredo sauces and the this and the that and the fried foods. Now's the time to say, you know what, and whatever floats your boat, whatever motivates you, use it. I know when I'm outside and I feel that sun beating down on my face, something hits, Danny. Something clicks, and is like you're I am a lot more aware and cognizant of trying to eat healthier, because we've had this conversation in the past, and it's stupid and crazy as it sounds. There are many people out there that, man, I'm talking male now. I want to reach out to and female, but more I think particular with the male, like to go to a pool or a beach and just take off your shirt. I guarantee half the population, some people shouldn't be here, but half the population, and if you're a male that it feels like, you know what, you got dad's bod, and or even worse than that, and you're just self-conscious about that hurts me, because there's something that can be done about that. And chances are your internal organs and your blood work and your numbers are probably not healthy either. So
Right.
if you're ready to take that next step, I used to do a challenge when I had my gym called Shirts Off. It was great. I might have to bring it back. And people saw that, male and female, and were like, wow, he totally hit home with that. Like, yeah, just to take off your shirt, and listen, nobody got impressed, nobody but yourself, but it's like public speaking, just to stand up and you could critique everybody on the planet you want, and you can be a keyboard warrior, but if you have to stand in front of a room of 50, 60, 100, 250 people and just introduce yourself,
Yep.
that can be anxiety ridden. Well, that person that can easily play on the psyche and mindset of a person that doesn't want to take their shirt off, or is still wearing the one piece onesie, bikini, bathing suit. And I'm not making fun. I'm telling you that it doesn't have to be that way, guys. It does not have to be that way. Where Danny K and myself do stuff that we welcome, and we love the challenge to help you guys get to your goals. Really reach out to Danny and get on one of her programs. I don't care if you're calling from Amsterdam, which is a new country that we're in.
Oh,
we
cool.
will provide that program for you. Okay. So if you feel like you're done with like the summer months coming in, and you're still the guy sitting at the pool, with the winter parker on, and you use every excuse, it sucks. That's just, we want you to feel good about yourself. We want you to feel good. Feeling good about yourself is going to make you more productive in your entire life. You're going to be more productive in your finances, in your family, in your faith. You're going to feel good about yourself, and you're going to want to exude that energy and that glow by it's true, Danny, right? I mean, talk to me.
Absolutely. I mean, you're always gonna when you feel better, you feel better. You do better. You do other things, and you don't want to go to the pool if because you're like, I don't want to go to the pool. Well, why don't you want to go to the pool? Well, because you feel like you're a fat slob and you don't want to take your shirt off. You know what I mean? Like, so again, like it all comes down to, putting in the work to just feel better, feel better about you, feel better, with your psyche, with your body, and it's not about being vain. It's just we always feel better when we look better. I mean, ladies, you get manicures and pedicures and facials and, Botox and, you get your eyebrows done and you wear makeup. And well, why? Because it makes you feel better, right?
Yeah.
So when you're working out, like you're feeling better, you're looking better, you're tightening up your flabby skin, whatever those issues are, right? Um, you're getting more energy and I mean, and when you're working out and you're getting those endorphins going, I mean, let's face it, it's libido too, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just all around like the best thing to do for inside, outside, like you said, I mean, for anything, for your job, for your family, yeah, for your sex drive, like all of this stuff, like working
Yeah.
out is like the medicine.
Good. I have a good segue. Men, and for the men listening, men, I'm going to need you to pause. Men, pause for a minute right now, okay? Oh, wait. Men,
Would you
pause.
say menopause?
Men, pause. And that's exactly where I'm going to. So, guys, Danny's going to spend a minute or two. So if you have hit a bit of a rut, if you are entering that menopausal stage of your life, if you have no energy, Danny mentioned libido. We can't even make this shit up because we didn't even prepare for this. But if you are having suffering from low libido, low sex drive, Danny mentioned that glow. You want that glow about yourself. I got to tell you, I compliment Danny all the time. It's tough with Danny because Danny's gonna work her ass off and commit to whatever she believes in. But I have to mention it because Danny believes in this product like I've never
Oh,
seen
yeah.
her. You really believe in a product that and you guys have been sought after and recruited by family members on everybody and
Right.
I have no problem with people finding a grind and getting a hustle and introducing you to products that work for them. But Danny has something I think you guys really need to pay attention to right now. And I have some friends up here that are doing it as well. It's come into the industry. It wasn't one of those crash and burn products like many things are that come into the health and fitness industry, from raspberry ketones to Moan V to all the other shit that's come through and you guys were disappointed in. Danny has a topic that she's going to talk about. Like I said, take a minute or two to talk about because she's living testimonial that it works, and I also am living testimony from what I've experienced from seeing Danny as she's been taking this product. Danny, talk to us about the product, Danny. What it's done for you, what it can do for our viewers, our listeners,
Awesome.
and tell us about this amazing product you have, Danny, the gel.
So the gel, baby, it's a transdermal, like topical. I don't think there's anything in this one. This one was on my shelf, but
Okay.
you just put, pump and a pump and you rub it in.
For
And I
those of
already
you guys
did,
listening on the podcast, she's doing it on her
yeah.
forearms right now. Yeah.
So yeah, and any thin skinned area, I usually use my forearms, but back of the knee, like they say, underarm. I don't like anything under my underarm except for deodorant. The feet, any thin skinned area. But this, it's everybody says I don't see the difference because I guess I see myself, but other people like, wow, you got a glow, you got this, you got that,
I'd say,
whatever.
yeah.
But I use the skincare, as well. I use our hydration mist. So you probably just everything combined, does it or whatever. But the gel, it's a micro dose of HGH. HGH is like our thermostat. It's the motherboard of all of our hormones, and it optimizes our hormones. It does not replace your hormones. So what it does is that micro dose of HGH goes in topically. It takes about 90 minutes for it to metabolize into your, and you can't overdose on it. You don't OD on it. You don't get a extra amount of anything or whatever. But so and then it basically kind of goes in and it's like, okay, it kind of assesses what you need, like what hormone is lacking and where you're lacking, and then it's going to do what it needs to do. Um, and that's why, like, it's not a one size fits all.
Right.
Everybody's going to see different results. So like I saw energy and my aches and pains gone in the first week.
Wow.
But some people see, better sleep in the first week. It took me about 3 weeks to see better sleep. Some people, don't experience what you call it, energy until 3 or 4 weeks in. And
Okay.
one of our ladies, Teresa, she's got gray hair, but it's coming in um at the roots dark, and like
Oh
she's
shit.
showing like
Maybe I could use some of that damn.
and I mean my hairdresser, she's got little fine baby hairs coming in, and she's like, oh my god, I've never had the like I haven't had, it's been years since I've had little like new
Yeah.
growth.
Amazing.
So it affects different people in different ways at different times. So there's over 40 known benefits. Hot flash is gone. Moods are better. Sleep is better. Libido. I mean,
Mm.
whatever. All your hormones, like your major 50 hormones. Um, this actually optimizes your hormone. It does not replace. So it's not a synthetic med. It takes about 12 weeks to produce one batch. And in between each batch, they're testing it different times to make sure that it's progressing on the way that it's supposed to progress. If not, they throw it out and start over again.
Wow, that's
Um,
amazing.
you know, so and there was something else that I was going to mention about it. But I mean, it's just an amazing product, and like you said, like I don't do anything and I don't sell anything just to sell it, just to make money. And actually today I've got two new distributors that came on, and a new customer. So I mean, it's people are seeing it because it's our hormones, and cortisol levels and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like as we from age 30, our HGH levels start to drop, and
Danny,
but
any any major side effects? Anybody reporting or no?
no side effects. Now, there one of my girls messaged me today, and she was like, hey, I'm just doing a pea size, because she the first time I put it on her, she had some like detox thing, and I
Okay.
was like, okay, well, do a smaller dose, right? We're gonna start you off with a smaller dose. So she's doing a pea size, and she's like, I had a couple of headaches, and I was like, you're detoxing, just make sure you're drinking water. So she's
Okay.
working through that. Now those that isn't for everyone. I didn't get headaches, and every single one of my customers and distributors except for her has not gotten headaches. You know what I mean? Like, but it's and again, it's that different way that it's coming in and adjusting certain things. So certain people need certain things, and so the body's gonna the gel is gonna take care of that first before that, or whatever, A before B. But so she's working through that. She's like the headaches are lessening, so we're detoxing, so just make sure you're drinking the water and stuff like that. And then she's working into that, working up the
Danny,
dosage.
you guys it can give the information. Don't you guys do like a weekly call in case any of the listeners want to get maybe
Yeah.
possibly on how can they?
So,
Yeah.
on Monday nights, we do a gel and tell, and then tonight we actually have a call tonight. Monday nights at 8, tonight's at 8, and that's for like the business side of it. And
Okay.
so it can be lucrative. I mean, you at least get you're getting in at the very beginning and making enough money to just pay for the products. You're like
Right.
free product.
House money. Yep. Play with
You,
house
you
money.
know what I mean? Like, yeah. So,
Yeah.
but yeah. So, I mean, we have it's and so many other products that we have, but everything balances your hormones. It optimizes your hormones. It does
Yeah.
not replace. I can't stress that enough. It's we call it. It's not HRT therapy. HRT. It's HOT. Hot
Right. Right. Right.
hormone optimization
Yeah.
therapy.
That's cool.
Anytime, somebody wants to give you like a synthetic med, like for your thyroid, the doctors give you a synthroid. Well, what happens is your thyroid starts working less because the synthroid is taking over, and it's letting your thyroid know that it doesn't have to do anything. And then eventually, that hormone shuts down with guys if they're getting, the testosterone injections or whatever, because they're trying to get their testosterone levels up because they're, older or whatever. It's
Mhm.
it's replacing their testosterone. So their testosterone hormone is saying, "Oh, we don't have to work because this is actually doing it. We don't have to work. This is actually doing it." And then eventually it just shuts down completely, right? This optimizes your your 50 main your 50 main hormones. I think
Right.
we got like 90 hormones or whatever,
Okay.
but the main hormones, there's about 50 of them, and it optimizes your. I can't even speak enough on it. Like I'm a Jeller for life. I'm not
Yeah,
ever going
guys,
off.
and this I can certainly tell you guys when Danny doesn't get behind products until she tries them, tests them, and lives them. And for those of you guys that have interest in it, I'd be curious to see what you guys' testimonials are if you in fact decide to give it a try, which you should. What do invest a little bit into your life, and like I said, Danny said, there's a side hustle on it that you can make some money as well. But first, let's get you feeling and looking the best we
Yeah.
can, optimizing and
Oh,
maximizing your health.
and a
Go ahead.
60-day money back guarantee. That's how much we
Come on.
believe in
So
this
now what?
product.
Now
60-day
what?
money
Now
back
you
guarantee.
got
So
to reach
I mean,
out. Yeah, you got to
it's
check
a
it out.
win-win, So
You got to check it out.
and
It's a no
yeah.
brainer.
So
No brainer to
drop
do it.
drop info or inbox me, and I'll get you some info on it. And
And on the call as well, Danny. Get them info on the
yeah,
call that they can do it. All right. All right. Well, guys, listen. As always, I love doing free talk. We don't really prep for it or make any notes or anything like that. We
nope,
kind of
yep,
just go wing it. And I think, as always, it was another very successful free talk podcast for a KFit Talk podcast. This was season 12. Episode 3. Go back and check out on Spotify, on Apple Music. Okay, go back and listen. You're in your car driving, you're kind of just chilling, and you want to get a good laugh. You're in traffic. 12 episodes. Like, we've been doing this for a couple of years now, and
yeah,
we're grateful and thankful to each and every one of you that that subscribe to it and come back and tell us how much it become part of your day and your life. We can't do this without you guys, the listener, the viewer, the subscriber, and we're forever grateful for that. I'm grateful for obviously for my all my people at all these years I've been doing this, that still allow me every day to wake up and meet them at my gym and train them, and the 50, 60 that come to Unique Fitness on each class to take my Koga classes with this
yeah,
old fucking fat ass standing up front, still throwing his kicks and punches, and it's a beautiful thing. So if you're just embarking on your fitness journey, or you're a seasoned veteran, we want to applaud you guys. We want to tell you guys to stick with it. Okay. It's the whoever, I don't know where created, where, I guess it started with the ancient Greeks or the Romans and the gladiator. I don't know whether the Greeks with the games or fitness
oh
and
yeah,
exercise, but we're thankful and grateful for it, and we want to get you guys involved in our little community. So Danny K, Jon Koga, KK, Karma on Danny's on. We want to get you guys in. If you guys want to talk about that side hustle, and maybe you want to, like I said, you want to learn more about getting into this industry, into the health and fitness industry through the KFit network, we'd love to talk to you about it. If you
yeah,
want to bring Koga to your facility, if you want to get certified in Koga, we're mapping out right now the course of action over the next few months. I'm gonna get back in the game. Had a few setbacks, but that's life. I'm not looking for a pity party or H to put on my chest, but we can get you guys involved in the Koga Fitness program as well. I think I got the KogaFit.com underneath my name here, so go take a peek
oh
at
yeah,
that. And as always, I think I said enough, so it's time for me to shut that hole underneath my nose. All right, I got to return the hat back with the hair that I bought this morning at the dollar store. And thank you guys. So I love you guys. One Koga love. All right, you're free to do whatever you want any old time. Make the right decisions, but not making any decision is not the right decision. Danny, what you got for us, baby?
exactly.
Girl, love her, love her.
You
I'm gonna
said it.
convert.
You said it all. Like, I got nothing to say except for what John said. And until next time, y'all, stay in tune, stay informed, stay motivated.
All right, we
Bring on
hold on. We got to.
Tulisa.
There we go. It's coming. It's going. Here we go.
Any old time.
Come on, it's gonna drop.
I said I'm free to do what I want any old time.
Danny, can we change the words to gel me? Gel me. Hope you guys enjoyed the show today. Free, baby, free. It's gonna get better, guys. We're gonna get better here in the United States. We're gonna get better. Don't get down. It's not over yet. It's just the beginning. We didn't talk politics today, but you know what?
Good stuff.
It's gonna get better. You're free. Hit
Good
it.
stuff.
To do what I want any
All right. Like we say,
I say
you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. We are out. Peace.